Welcome to the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast.
Yeah, ready.
Yep.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Jarvis S. Scott with What's Happening Birmingham. Guess who I got back again? Congresswoman Terri Sewell. I had her last month in September. She came by, kind of tell us all the things she's doing in the 7th Congressional District of Alabama. She's back this month to kind of, and as you all know, she's been delivering a lot of checks to a lot of people around in the district.
And that's a good thing. You know, look, I ran on a platform of providing better resources and more opportunities to the constituents of Alabama's 7th Congressional District. And that means trying to get as much federal funding for programs in our district as possible. And so very happy today to be here in Fairfield with a $2.5 million check for a wonderful partnership between the United Way of Central Alabama and the City of Fairfield, Fairfield City Schools, as well as the City of Fairfield. So that's a win-win for everyone when you're actually investing in our children.
Yeah, so I'll be remiss, this month is Magic City Classic.
Yes.
We all like to call it the largest HBCU in the country. If anybody has never been to the Magic City Classic,
you're missing out.
Yes, I invite you all to come.
Yeah, well, as the daughter of 2 ASU graduates, I grew up coming to the Magic City Classic and staying at the Tip Isle Hotel. And it is one of my favorite times of the year, magical. And having the University having Alabama State and Alabama A&M play right here in Birmingham, the magic is on, and I think that this year will be better than ever because every year gets better.
Yeah, and the statistics, hope I guess the parent of the people in the Magic City Classic, make sure I get it right. It's a 25 million economic local impact this game brings.
And I can't tell you what impact it has on the families, the folks that are there. It's lifetime of memories.
Yes, it is. I agree.
My dad played ball for Alabama State, and so for him to come and have a mini reunion with his old teammates, I mean, it's a time for great family gatherings and school gatherings, and so it's a great tradition. And it's a tradition I hope that always lives on. And I think that it can only do that if we're spending money for the Magic City Classic and attending all of the various festivities.
Okay, so can you tell people the investment that the Biden-Harris administration has made? And people probably have heard it before, but like I always tell people, you got to remind people at least 7 times before it sticks in their head. That's why I believe in marketing. People got to see. Well,
the Biden-Harris administration has given unprecedented amounts of money to HBCUs, something totaling $7 billion. The commitment is firm. The Vice President herself attended an HBCU. So many members of Congress who are part of the Congressional Black Caucus either attended HBCUs or family members did. And so there's a huge commitment for the long-term success of our HBCUs. And I'm just proud to represent over seven different HBCUs in our district. Everything from Lawson State to Alabama State to Miles College. We are indeed and Stillman College, and we are indeed a district that takes enormous pride in being having so many HBCUs. So HBCU pride runs abundant in Alabama's 7th Congressional District.
Oh yes, and I think it's you really do have a lot of HBCUs.
I do.
I don't even want to do like
a name count. But for me, being a lone Democrat in Alabama's delegation, I see all of Alabama's HBCUs as part of our commitment to making sure that that they survive and thrive. And so that means representing all of the ones that are in Alabama. I hope everyone knows that. I may, whether you're in my district or not in my district, the HBCUs that we have in Alabama have been historically been amazing feeders of Black professionals all throughout the state and this nation. And it's something to be very proud of. And it still stands today, even while we have greater opportunities to go to some of the traditional universities that didn't accept Blacks back in the day. The reality is that we have so many that still go through HBCUs and receive quality educations and nurturing that they don't receive in majority universities.
So switching gears, like this month being breast cancer awareness, I've seen you recognize someone local for their efforts, and
Miss Brenda for her Brenda's bosom.
Brown bosoms.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, but to give Miss Brenda her due on the House floor was just amazing opportunity for me to show our collective appreciation for what she's done to uplift breast cancer awareness, especially in African American communities. And so, this has been for her Sister Strut to take place. And I know it was raining that weekend, but so many people participated. And I just want to again tell her and all of our breast cancer survivors that make sure all of us know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and making sure that we all get our exams. It's really critically important.
Now, one thing I know has been a continuing focus of yours is public safety.
Yes.
I recently saw somewhere you
$24.7 million.
Yes, okay.
Alabama.
Make sure I get that point right.
$24.7 million, so it's almost $25 million announced beginning of October that will go to all throughout the state of Alabama. Specifically for our district, $4.2 million will go to Birmingham for additional cameras and additional equipment for intelligence for their crime hotline. So that will be an amazing opportunity. The crime center. And then also, I think $1 million will go, to Jefferson County for mental health services and for fighting crime. And of course, a huge chunk will go to the state, both ALEA, DECA, and our Commerce Department will get some funding as well. So it's the Department of Justice's efforts to really help us make sure that our communities are safer. And the fact that we receive a disproportionate amount in Alabama, I think goes to show that this administration is fully aware of the challenges that we are currently experiencing when it comes to gun violence in Birmingham and in Jefferson County. And so I am just thrilled that this administration sees us and knows what our challenges are, and are helping to step up and provide resources for those.
So, I know a lot of people watching this, and they say, man, she's throwing out a lot of dollar signs and a lot of millions and billions. Why is that so important that your congresswoman, bring home, I don't like to say the word bacon, but
well, it is pork, some people say.
Okay.
It's not really pork, but it is resources. And look, I have always said, growing up in this district, that I know personally and have benefited personally from better opportunities and more resources. And so I see our office primary responsibility is to try to secure as many federal dollars as we can in each budget year. I believe that our budget is a reflection of our values. And so seeking more resources for community safety, for education, for economic development, for health, mental health and health access to quality, affordable health care, all of those are critical to Alabama's 7th Congressional District. And the more, the merrier. So I will continue to do all that I can to provide more funding across our district for the, to uplift our district, to make sure our district is safer, is healthier, is more provided for, more prosperous than ever.
And two things I think I see where you see the immediate impact is when it comes to transportation with the roads and bridges, and then also broadband. Internet.
And water and sewer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
I have to say, of all the bills that the Biden administration has passed, and I'm very proud to have been the lone person in Alabama's delegation to vote in favor of the bipartisan infrastructure bill. It's going to bring billions of dollars over the next 5 years to the state of Alabama. $5.2 billion for roads and bridges, $700 million for water and sewer, over $1 billion for broadband over the next 5 years. And we just have to make sure that our state government is spending that money wisely. So I'm watching them with like a hawk, because I know that those are federal funds that flow through the states. States determine how they're going to spend it. But as the lone member of Alabama's delegation that voted in favor of this bill, I want to make sure that our district gets more than its fair share of these infrastructure dollars. They're transformational opportunities. And, you know, while the state is focusing a lot on middle mile, I want to make sure that we're incentivizing our state to invest in the first mile, since there are lots of communities that we represent that are in our district that don't have the first mile of fiber optics. And so we've got to make sure that this transformational money that the federal government has provided to the state goes to the most needed in the state.
Yeah, and you know, one thing I've noticed too about, like you said, you was the lone person that vote for it. A lot of people, it was recently something like the Northern Belt Line. Oh. They went out there, they did.
Oh, how about Mobile? Talking about the $500 million for that bridge.
Yeah, and no
that's
thank
a bridge
you to
that Biden built. I just want y'all to know that.
Yeah, no thank you. It's just like, they just like, oh, okay, what? Somebody's watching this like, where does money come from? Yeah. And it's just like, they just.
Well, you know, I think it's pretty hypocritical of of my colleagues that didn't vote in favor of it to now take those resources and, you know, and they are a huge boost to our economy and to the communities in which these investments are being made. That is absolutely true. But the reality is they didn't want to give that win to Biden. So that's the only reason. I mean, why else would they not vote for transformational money coming into their community other than for a political reason? And I look forward to the day when we can put politics aside and just look at the needs of the people and deliver for the people, irrespective of politics. And so I know I try to do that. Obviously, I'm a Democrat and proud of it. But the reality is that we represent every person in our district, not just people who voted for us. And it's important that we acknowledge the wonderful wins that the Biden-Harris administration has done, but give credit where credit is due.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, I guess, because I don't know, this may be the last time I may be able to do a sit down with you
for a minute, but until after the election.
Yeah, November the 5th.
Yeah, November the 5th, vote. And do know that you can go and vote right now to your local county courthouse, wherever you are in the state of Alabama. They're accepting, people being able to vote, and I think that they can do that at the courthouse. I don't think people know that, and it's going on right now. Jefferson County Courthouse, both the downtown courthouse as well as the one in Bessemer. Yeah, in fact, you know, many of us do go and vote early because we don't know if we're going to be, you know, in state during that, or if we're going to be well enough to go vote. So I encourage all of us who can to go and vote now.
And then one last thing I want to tell people too is that I know a lot of you always say, well, I'm not sure who to vote for president. I'm not sure that this election is so important that you don't know how this thing is going to turn out. Every vote's going to count.
Absolutely, which is all the more reason that I hope the Souls to the Polls effort this year will be around making sure that our elderly, our seniors, go and vote now. I mean, no one knows, you know, Alabama, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on a Tuesday. But if you know that you can actually go now and vote because you're not really sure what's going to happen on election day, I mean, all the more reason why people should be helping our folks get to the county courthouse as soon as possible to go vote.
Yeah, if you need a ride to the polls, I'm going to be doing some interview coming up real soon with some people to transport people back and forth. So just stay tuned. We won't give you no excuse not to vote.
Absolutely. And, you know, I want folks to have a voting plan. You need to know where your precinct is. You need to know what kinds of photo IDs are acceptable under Alabama law. We haven't been able to fight back against those laws, so we have to make sure we're compliant with those laws. And that means knowing where you're going to vote, and what ID you need to be able to show, and then the hours of operation, all of those things. So I ask people to really think about a voting plan that includes not just you go voting, but your whole family and your neighborhood and your church. So let's make sure that we're going to the polls on November 5th or earlier if you want to vote absentee. And, make sure that you are doing so and you're bringing others with you. I know for a fact that when we vote, we all win. And so let's make sure that we're out there voting. I know that Kamala likes to say, when we fight, we win, and that's true. But when we vote, we all win. So let's make sure that we are out there voting like our lives depend upon it, because it does. People have to realize that every election is important, state, local, and federal. Every election, from the dog catcher to the municipal judge to the probate judge to the sheriff to your state reps and state senators to your members of Congress to the president. All of those elections are critically important. And if any district understands the importance of the power of the vote. It's Alabama's 7th congressional district, where people died, bled for the right of all Americans to vote. And so let's vote. Let's vote like our lives depend upon it, because it does.
Well, Congressman Sewell, thank you for coming on. Look forward to seeing you in Magic City Classic.
Absolutely.
I think you've been in parade. You've been in parade,
I'll be
right?
in the parade. I'll be at the game. I'll be on the field halftime. You know, I just want to make sure that all of us know that this is more than just a game. It really is an experience, the Magic City Classic experience. We all want to be safe while we're doing those, having that experience, but it's an amazing, important part of growing up in Birmingham and in Jefferson County and attending those two schools. All of us benefit when we are spending money for the Magic City Classic.
Oh, yes. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out the website, whatshappenedbirmingham.com. I'm on TikTok now, Happy to Be Ham, and audio version of this on Apple Podcasts. Thank you all again.
And Jarvis, thank you so much for this public service that you're offering.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you for giving me an
opportunity. I always tell people she's one of the most accessible elected officials. You can always, and she does, like I said, she does so many interviews, so she worried about her voice going out, but she kept it for us. So thank you all. Have a great day, and vote November 5th.
And vote November 5th.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast. Please check out our website, app, or subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest videos today.